What's up, Get Better Basketball community? I'm Coach DeMarco, and this is Focused. In today's episode, I'm going to break down the staggered Chicago action used by the Lakers and show you why it can open up so many scoring opportunities for your team. Before you check out this breakdown on the Lakers staggered Chicago action, make sure you hit that like button down below, turn on your notifications, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great video breakdowns each and every week. Now, let's focus in on the Lakers' staggered Chicago action. As we get ready to take a look at a video breakdown of the Lakers using this staggered Chicago action, I wanted to point out a couple of things using this diagram. In regular Chicago action, it begins with a pin down, 402, and then goes into a dribble handoff. In staggered Chicago action, it's going to be a screen from 04, followed by a second screen by 05, or a staggered screen, and then it goes into a dribble handoff for 02. Teams begin this action out of a number of different sets, and I'm going to show you how the Lakers initiate this action. So the Lakers are going to use a horn set with two players on the elbows, a player in the corner and another player in the corner as their set to initiate this staggered Chicago action. As I mentioned, teams use this action out of a lot of different sets, and this is just one set that you can run it out of. As we take a look at the staggered Chicago action, I want to point out a couple of details. So number one, we're going to see the point guard pass over to the elbow and then cut down to set the first screen in the staggered Chicago action. So this is the first screen, and then the second screen is going to come from this elbow player, and then the third screen is going to be a dribble handoff from this player on the opposite elbow. So this defender is going to have to fight through the first screen, the second screen, and then the third screen to defend this player. There's a couple of other things the defense can do, and I'm going to show you those as I let it play through. So now this defender is going to get caught up in the first screen. The second screener, who's Kuzma, his defender is right here. And the third screener, or the dribble handoff player, his defender is right here. The point guard's defender is actually going to sag into the paint, probably from a scouting report, knowing that this type of action could happen when the point guard cuts down and sets the screen. So he's going to probably look to help in the paint, which is actually going to give this player some options off of the catch that I'll talk about in just a minute. So he's going to sag into the paint. This defender is going to get stuck on this first screen. So as the player continues around, one of these two defenders, one of whom is Jason Tatum, could switch onto him. Tatum is actually going to stay on this offensive player, who I believe is Marc Gasol, who's a center for the Lakers. And Brown, who is trying to get through the first screen, is going to end up on Kuzma. This is going to cause a switch with this defender now having to guard this player. So what the Lakers did is they actually forced the Celtics to bump switch on this player. So Brown couldn't get through. The point guard's going to stay down in the paint. That's fine. But these two defenders now, the final defender is going to bump out and switch on this player, allowing him to get downhill and finish. I want to bring you through this again because there's only so many things the defense can do here. Brown could fight through all three screens. They could potentially run the point guard and have just a switch here. Brown could actually switch onto the point guard, and this guard could actually come under and meet this player over here. But you're probably already saying the same thing I am. On the catch, if this guard's going to come under, this player is just going to catch and they're going to have an open three-pointer. You could have Tatum, the first player's screener's defender, jump to it, but it's a tough angle and it looks like this player could probably get downhill. He'd have to come underneath. So that's a tough thing to do. The only real option is to have Thompson come out and switch on him. At the NBA level, it definitely creates a mismatch. But this is a set that is used by college and high school teams very frequently. I saw a number of different teams use it during March Madness, that it was an action that I saw almost every single game and sometimes multiple times during the game. So at the high school level or at the college level, you're going to create a lot more mismatches as this defender switches out to cover this offensive player. At the NBA level, you might have some athletic bigs that can defend here. As we see in this instance, Thompson doesn't do a terrible job, but he's still going to get beat downhill. I mean, this player has a full head of steam getting downhill to the basket. It makes it such a difficult action to defend. There's a couple of other things I want to point out in terms of options in addition to this player getting downhill to the basket. So let's look at those other defenders who could potentially now help. We know that it's either really going to be a fight over the top or a switch with this end defender. Both are tough, which makes this such a difficult action to defend. But now let's look at those other defenders. Tatum now has to defend Gasol. So if this player actually gets stopped and has to back out, Gasol is going to dive down into the post and they can dump it inside to Gasol and he'll have a mismatch on Tatum. I think Tatum can defend him to some degree, but at the high school and college level, it's definitely going to result in a mismatch. And I really believe at the NBA level too, this is a mismatch. Brown can defend Kuzma. There's not too many teams at the high school and college level who have a Jaylen Brown that's as big as he is and as athletic as he is that can get out and defend another elbow player in a horns set. So this is great in the NBA, but just as good at the college and high school level. As this player gets downhill now, right? So Tatum does a nice job. Brown's going to stay here. Look at this point guard, because if Walker comes in to help and gets into the paint here, this guard is just going to kick opposite and they're going to have an open three-pointer, or Brown's going to have to rotate and it's going to be a one more for a potentially open three-pointer. The other thing, if this corner defender stunts or comes down too far, it's going to be an opportunity for an open three-pointer in the corner. A lot of teams like to make this their better shooter, knowing that undisciplined teams are going to help too far on the ball side, and it's an easy kick to the corner for a scoring opportunity. So you can see why I love this set so much, because there's so many different opportunities for your team to score out of it. You can get downhill off it and score. You have kick out, dump down options. And also, if this defender is too flat-footed, and actually probably could have in this case, just caught and had a shot from the top of the key, or if any of these other defenders switch, it could be a shot. And as I noted, his defender trailing is really going to allow him to turn the corner. He sees the matchup here with Thompson and does a great job getting downhill to the basket and finishing. So I just want to let this play through at full speed so you see all three screens in this action. It's great at the high school level, the college level, and obviously in the pros. I love staggered Chicago action because it's transferable across all levels. High school teams love to use this action, as do teams at the college level. And we know that it's great in the pros because the teams like the Lakers, the Golden State Warriors, and several others are all using this staggered Chicago action. It puts the defense in a bind because they have to decide, are they going to switch? Are they going to fight over the screens? And when they do switch, what player is going to make that switch? And are they able to defend that player catching the ball one-on-one? If you like staggered Chicago action as much as I do, then make sure you hit that like button down below, you turn on your notifications, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great video breakdowns each and every week. Leave me a comment below because I love hearing from the Get Better basketball community. Let me know what you think about staggered Chicago action and how it worked for your team. As always, get better every day. If you don't have a Dr. Dish all-purpose shooting machine, then you're missing out on a great opportunity for your team to become the best group of shooters they can be. Mention the Get Better Basketball Chat or hashtag GBetBBChat for up to $300 off select Dr. Dish shooting machines. Don't miss out on this great opportunity.